Hello and welcome back to the Level Cap Podcast, where Brad and I are the citizens of Kane of podcasts, level 99 games, and otherwise.
So this is the Citizen Kane podcast?
No, we're the
Is that what you're trying to
citizens
say?
of Kane podcasts. That's exactly what I said.
I know that's exactly what you said, but I was surprised to hear that was actually what you meant to say because it's nonsense.
Are you sure? Are you absolutely sure that it's nonsense, huh? What if I was making a secret ghost reference to,
The wrestler Kane?
yes,
Soul Reaver Kane?
and he has,
Or,
so that was a good game.
Like,
That was a good
like
game on the
Candy
PS2.
Canes?
Oh my gosh. Candy canes, yeah, because it's Christmas season, everyone. You guys, when you're listening to this, it's probably the week of Christmas or whatever holiday you decide to spend. If you watch a few other podcasts, you might be celebrating candle nights instead. So, happy candle nights to everyone.
Yeah. Whatever your holiday of choice is, we support you.
Yeah, it's great. So long as you end up playing board games during those holidays, because no matter what you decide to celebrate, it's always great to celebrate with a bunch of board games.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how are you on this wonderful, wonderful Christmassy themed week, Brad?
I'm doing well. We're just about to start our big free giveaway for the year. So
Ooh.
that'll launch today, which means if you're listening to this podcast, you've already missed it.
Sad
But
life.
we might still have a few copies of Resistor left, so check your email and use the code. Use the code DEFCON 2017 DEFCON-2017 in our online store, and you'll be able to get a free copy of Resistor. You still have to cover your own shipping. One per customer, please. And happy holidays.
I really love the coupon code you decided to pick for that. Like, it gives a lot of context to what Resistor's all about.
Yeah, nothing like a nuclear Christmas.
I can't let you do that, Brad.
No.
I can't let you do that, Brad. No, Dave. No.
Dave.
Right.
We'll work on your howl over time.
Hey. Okay, my cadenza is half decent, so I can afford a bad howl. Okay.
I guess so.
Okay. So, we have a wonderful docket for all of you tonight. We're going to be talking about a few games we've probably played. Brad's going to talk about some development. We're going to answer some questions. And we're probably not going to have an ending segment because Brad talking about development is going to take a while.
Oh, yeah. Well,
You want to get
I
into
can
it?
talk a little bit. Yeah. Let's talk. Let's talk games. Well, how are you, Marco? I didn't get to ask how are you doing this.
Thank you.
This evening.
I was actually just waiting for you to finally ask me, Brad. And now that you've asked,
Well, I did. Don't make such a big deal about it.
I'm
Okay.
so happy. Oh
Dear.
yes, Brad. I would like to tell you how my day's been. It's been kind of chill. I spent most of my day job doing absolutely nothing. Everybody in the office is at the comic convention, and I had to stay in the office because I needed to upload advertisements or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, I
Okay.
couldn't go to the con because there's no internet there. So, guess who
I
missed
see.
out on going to this convention filled with anime and games? This guy.
Yuck. Who wants to do all that stuff?
Yeah, when I could be with the internet.
All the anime and games are already on the internet anyway.
Oh, valid point.
Yep.
Even some of the animes they wouldn't allow at comic conventions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like absolute nonsense, like Space Patrol Luluco. I forget. Whatever.
I don't know any convention that has disallowed an anime before. I have to say.
Disallowed an anime or anime in general.
In any anime, or any anime convention. I don't think there's any anime convention where there's a specific anime you can't bring and watch. So
that makes me think. It's like welcome to Texas Con 2017. No Sword Art Online allowed. It's part of the rules. It's on your ticket. Like, you cannot bring Sword Art Online merch or
no cosplay, no characters, no merchandise, nothing.
Oh my goodness!
Don't talk about Sword Art Online.
I think actually that would be a much better con. Boom, throwing shade. Oh my gosh. Oh, anyway. Let's move on. let's move on, Brad. Tell me, Brad. Tell me. You are a designer, working game person, so tell me what you've been playing this week, because it'll be very interesting.
Well, this week I started Breath of the Wild, and I've been playing a lot of Breath of the Wild. This is Zelda Breath of the Wild. There's no other Breath of the Wilds that I know about, so
Are you sure? Does it
it's
smell
got to be
good?
that one.
Does the Breath of the Wild smell good?
It's surprisingly not a deodorant. It's actually a video game.
Oh wait, what?
So, anyway, so this is the first open world Zelda game, and you go around the world and you try to defeat Ganon. It's much more open ended than any Zelda game previous. They do give you kind of a main quest thread to follow, and I've been following that, but any deviations I make from that seem to be totally okay with everybody. And sometimes you wander into a zone that like all the monsters kill with one hit. Sometimes you wander across like these giant monsters that are just sleeping out in the wilderness that you have no way to take on at this level.
And then you do take them on, right?
It's no, you die. I tried, but I died.
But so you did take it on.
I guess I did. I think I was more of an accident in one case.
Okay, wait. How'd you accidentally fight this monster? It was asleep.
Well, it's asleep, right? And I walked by, and I accidentally stepped on its toe or something, and it woke up and attacked me
and killed you. I see.
Yep. Well, I started running away, but then I turned around and I said maybe I can take this guy, and I threw a bomb at him, and like this little chip of health fell off, and then he like threw a rock at me, and the rock was 5 times bigger than me, and I died instantly.
And at this moment, Brad knew he messed up.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. So what do you like about Breath of the Wild? Like, this is a very different kind of Zelda game. Like you said, it was like very open world. I feel like it has a lot of. You ever played Just Cause?
No, I haven't.
Okay, but it kind of feels like that because Just Cause is this like open world game wherein they give you the ability to strap jetpacks onto basically everything in the game, and I feel like Breath of the Wild kind of feels like that because you can just make everything freaking float, or you can put I don't know balloons on something, and then you can fly a raft onto like a separate part of the building or whatever.
You do get a lot of really good. You get a lot of tools right at the beginning to get started. And it's kind of like everything you need to go through most of the puzzles in the game right on the starting plateau. So it makes the open world game very truly open. Whereas in some of these games, like you need to get to like chapter 3 before you actually have the tools to deal with what you encounter. In this game, you can kind of just go straight to world 3 if you want to, and you've got all the tools that you'll need to deal with it.
Oh man, it's a very interesting kind of Zelda game to be open world. And it has a Diablo feel, right? Because there's like a loot equipment system too.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's mostly just for weapons and shields and bows and stuff. But your gear will break down, and you'll have to find new gear from the enemies you fight. And getting good gear can make all the difference for your character. It really affects your fighting capability.
Do you think that makes the experience better or worse?
I think it is pretty neat because if there weren't gear durability, I would just get the first greatsword I found and I would never use anything else. But now I have to kind of change my weapons because I want to save my greatsword for real boss fights.
I see. Okay. So would you recommend Breath of the Wild to all of our listeners who need a breath or two?
Absolutely. I mean, it's Game of the Year, so you don't need me to recommend it.
I mean...
It's good.
Wait, it was Game of the Year? I thought it was Persona 5. No, Persona 5's RPG of the Year. Right. Okay.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild is actually Game of the Year.
Wow. I mean, like, it deserves it. I haven't played it, but, like, from what I've seen, like, the graphics are great, and then all the crazy stuff you can do in the game is hilarious, and, like, the physics, everything's good. It's good. I mean, it might be the reason to buy a Switch. Yeah. Okay. So, I guess it's my turn.
So. Yeah. What have you been up to, Marco?
Okay, so I think this is interesting because this wasn't planned at all, right? You don't pre-tell me what game you've been playing, and I don't pre-tell you what game you've been playing. You don't theme these things necessarily, but what I've been playing is a game called Heat Signature. It's from the guys who made Gunpoint, I think. If you played Gunpoint, it's that game where you like infiltrate buildings and you're this guy who can like like you have an ability that lets you like when you right click or something, you kind of freeze time and you can choose to like super jump to a place. So you basically have the ability to like mega jump and stuff like that. The
Oh,
combat's
okay. It
really
sounds kind of
tight.
like Super Hot.
Kind of like super hot, yeah. So Heat Signature is the spiritual successor to Gunpoint, and it's
Hmm.
played top down. Basically, it's like this. Imagine if Super Hot was played like it was Hotline Miami.
Uh-huh.
So you're in this top-down perspective, and you're basically the entire game is about you're infiltrating various ships from various like factions. Like there's a Galactic Federation, there's like space
Hmm.
pirates, and there's this warfaring race of like xenophobes who want to kill everybody who's not their race or something like that, right? And you infiltrate their ships, and you're given an objective. It's like rescue this person in the ship, or assassinate this person in the ship, or steal this item from the ship, or kill everyone on the ship and steal the ship itself. These are all various activities you can do, and each ship is actually laid out like a series of rooms. So like square,
Hmm.
it's like each ship is basically a bunch of squares, right? And the way it works is that
Okay.
each square is a room, and you kind of have to stealth or fight your way through this entire ship in order to fulfill your objective. So it's very Hotline Miami in the sense that there's this area that you have to enter, and there are a ton
Hmm.
of enemies there, most of which one shot you. Well, actually, in this
Hmm.
game, they all one shot you. You only have
Okay.
there's no health bar. You
One hit point.
one hit, you die. So what's the gimmick of this game? The gimmick of this game is that at any point in time, you can press the space bar to pause time.
Uh-huh.
And while time is paused, you can plan out actions, you can aim attacks and something like that. But the moment you start an action, time resumes. So basically, this
Hmm.
gives you infinite planning time. And what makes it
Okay.
very
So it's kind of like feels kind of like the Fallout. In Fallout 4, they had this whatchamacallit.
like the aiming
Like
system,
like
right?
VAT, yeah, the VATS aiming system where you could stop and you could point at different places and do different stuff with between like mid combat. So even though you're
Yes.
real time combat, you have this you have the opportunity to do other or to freeze time and
It's pretty cool. It's pretty hot. So if I highly recommend it. So if you guys want to play a cool indie game, Heat Signatures for you.
yeah, this looks really fun.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll check this out over Christmas break.
Oh man, Christmas break. Oh man,
Yeah.
you should play it. It's really good. It's really good. I like it. I like it a lot. But
So I'm actually leaving for 2 weeks, starting on Sunday. So 2 days from now, I'll be gone for 2 weeks, and heading back to my hometown in North Carolina, and spending time with the family and stuff.
oh man, enjoy your Christmas vacation. So while you're away, I'll be putting out episodes of the podcast where I talk to myself. And
Why don't you have some guests? Why don't you bring on some of the other folks?
Yeah, I can bring in Cameron. I can bring in other people. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna find a way to make this work while you're not here, Brad. The show must go on. Nay, the show will go on.
I feel so what's the word I'm looking for? I feel so proud of you, Marco, doing it, running the whole podcast without me. You brought
Uh,
up so much.
Papa Brad. Okay, no, let's move on to our next segment. Let's move on to our next segment. Brad talks about development. People have not given me a cool new name for this yet, Brad, so we're gonna have to live with it until someone out there, a mystical white knight of amazing naming, gives us a good name for Brad talks about development. So, Brad, talk about development.
Okay, cool. Well, this week I wanted to talk to you guys all about Imperial Spells and Steam. This is our new train game that's going to be coming out.
Wait a minute. I thought we were gonna talk about the things we were gonna do in 2018, or is this part of it?
Well, this is part of it. This is the first thing we're going to do in 2018.
Oh snap! Tell me about
'Cause
trains then.
Imperial, yeah. So Imperial Spells and Steam is our new railway game. It's sort of the spiritual successor to Argent in that it's an Indians Euro game, and it's designed by Trey Chambers, the same designer.
Trains.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Trey's Trains was the working title.
Why? I can't believe you guys didn't
So,
keep it.
well, yeah, So in this game, you are a captain of industry in the world of Indians in the technological revolution. Your goal is to build a railway network that connects Cor Caroli in the east, where Argent is, to Imperial City in the west, the capital of Sanghalem. So you're building the first transcontinental railroad in Indians. And as you go along throughout the continent, there are different resources to harvest. There are different cities that you can connect to your network. And when you get resources, cities will demand these, and you can drop them off to score points. And let me give you the kind of the basic rundown of it.
Okay, sure.
So your turn comes up. You have a certain amount of mana, and this mana is allocated to build tracks, to harvest resources, to build, to do deliveries to cities.
So they're like action points.
They're kind of like action points, but you spend a lot of them at once. And also to cast spells. So, like, building a track is sort of like Terra Mystica, if you've played that, where the world is covered with different terrain types, and based on the company I am, and the terrain that I'm building over, the cost is different. So, like, Dryads build over forest super cheap, whereas, like, the Golden Sands company, Seth's company from the west, they build over deserts really easily. The company in...
So every railway station, whatever, has like a specific kind of land they're affinated to. Like they have an affinity for that land.
Yeah, they have an affinity to that kind of land, and they can build over it real easily.
Mm-hmm.
Another example would be like in the Gesselheim company, they can build over wasteland really easy. Wasteland is kind of like this very dangerous, hazardous, landfill type terrain that causes you to permanently lose mana when you build over it. But they can build over it really cheaply.
Oh, do they still lose the mana?
No, they get to keep their mana.
Oh,
so it's really powerful because you can so every time that you reclaim mana that you harvest mana from the world, you create wastelands, which are basically like landfills, the pollution that you create by building your industry, and you can actually creatively place these to block opponents' paths around the map, or even to force them to do transfers over your tracks. So when you build over another player's tracks, they get paid out for that. And so you can force other players to do transfers over your railway, and if by placing your wasteland to make walls and stuff.
But this doesn't affect Gesselheim because they're like whatever,
right? Because they'll just build over it. But once somebody builds on it, it's very cheap for other people to build on it too. So if I build over a wasteland and then you build onto the same place that I've built, it's real cheap for you, but I get paid. So there's kind of this competitive cooperation to the game where, like, I see a terrain that would cost me 4 mana to build over, but for your company it only costs 1, and so you build over it, and I'm like, well, now Marco's made it so cheap for me to do this transfer, I gotta like follow his tracks 2 hexes down and jump off, and you would get a permanent payout for those 2 tracks that I shared with you for that turn.
Oh, how much? Like, is it a significant amount? Is it a big amount?
It's an additional mana crystal, so it expands really greatly the amount of actions you can do every turn. Wow, so it's a very big deal to build over someone else's tracks.
Okay, so you don't want to do it like as much as possible.
Well, but it's so cheap for you. Like it's hard to resist.
Oh man, Brad, the dark temptations.
Yeah, exactly. So ideally, you can kind of collude with other players. You can build over each other and collude to expand your resources. There is a mana cap though, so once you get to like the mid to late game, it's not as big a deal as building over people. And in the early game, you're very separated from one another, so it's not that easy. But in the mid game, building over people or creatively working together can give you a big advantage in the market. But that's just one part of it. So that's just the building phase. The every tile in the game has resources. There are 6 kind of resources, and the resources are based on the kind of terrain that you're covering.
Mm-hmm.
And you can harvest these resources. Each time you harvest a resource, you get a new kind of technology. These are called engines, and you place them into your train. Like even the cars actually link up and make a little train. And the engine serves two purposes. It can carry that kind of good. So a red engine can carry red goods. The green engine will carry the green good. But also the engine will has a spell on it, and you can allocate mana to that engine to do that spell. So like a red engine might say like build over 3 red terrains right now for super cheap. Or it might, a green one might be like you can take a wasteland off the board. Or
I see.
a white one might be like you can harvest any resource from anywhere in the world and put it on this train.
But there are multiple
So they all
kinds.
have, yeah, there's about 10 types of each color, and they're very, what's the word I'm looking for? They're very different powers, but they're all very simple. So it's really easy to pick up a game and play from the get go.
Oh man, that sounds
Uh,
pretty cool.
it's pretty neat, and then beyond that, you can make deliveries. So each time that you deliver a resource, so the cities in the world have different tiles on them that are demands. And if you find a city with a demand whose color matches the good that you have, you could pair those up, take the demand tile, and the demand tile actually flips over and slots into your headquarters and becomes a new floor on your headquarters building. And once you build your headquarters building tall enough, you get new company abilities that are unique to your company.
Right, because the boards are like these like folders you do in like boardroom conferences, right?
Yeah, it almost looks kind of like a it's a gatefold. If you want to look up what this thing looks like, it's a gatefold board, and you but on the front it's like all embossed with your logo, and then you open it up, and inside is your headquarters and your build track preferences in your train yard, and your resources in your warehouse, and it's all kind of like laid out in front of you in this nice presentation.
Oh, that's pretty rad.
Anyway, the game's gonna look super good. You can see the 3D trains. Every company has their own train miniature, which is really really spiffy.
I saw the caterpillars. They were cute.
Yeah. The Dryads get giant caterpillars for their train line, and some of them look very very realistic. Some of them look very fantasy. There's a lot of cool different train variety that Fabio came up with.
Who's the poor sap who
Oh
gets
man.
boring trains?
Well, they're not so boring trains, but like the Underlanders have like a subway style train that actually
Oh,
looks like a subway car.
yeah, because
Um,
they're technologically advanced compared to
yeah,
all of the rest of Indians, right?
yeah, and the Willat Train Company has something that looks very much like a bullet train. So um, so they also have a very modern looking train, where some of the others look more like classic locomotives, and some of the others look just strange. Like Runica has a relic train, and it looks like it looks kind of like her golems.
Wait, they have faces?
They don't have faces. They don't
Okay.
have faces, but
I
they
thought we
do.
had a Thomas the train tank.
It looks kind of like Udstad's shoulder was made into a train car. Um,
I
it's
see.
it's a neat
So
neat
they're
train.
steampunk trains.
Yeah. Well, they're mage punk trains. I guess
Mage
the steampunk
punk.
train.
Oh,
The
wait,
steampunk
wait.
train is the one that's like the Gesselheim train.
Wait, Brad, wait. TM, Mage Punk, property of Level 99 Games, TM.
Well, I've been saying that about Indians for years. I've always called it a mage punk world.
Exactly, TM. Ours now, can't steal. Original term, do not steal. Which is ours now. Mage Punk.
Oh,
I like it. Oh, anyway, move
Well,
on.
Anyway, aside from that, that's the whole of the game is build out this network, you harvest resources, you deliver them to the cities, you build up victory points through the higher quality resources you find and the higher demand deliveries you find. Pair those up, and then try to score as many points as you can. Once somebody does enough deliveries, the final round starts, and then at the end, whoever has the most victory points is the winner. So it's much more. I guess it's much more straightforward than Argent, but despite that, it does have a depth of complexity and strategy that Argent fans will certainly embrace.
I see. Man, I'm really impressed by it. Like, so this is the thing. Like, for everybody who hasn't played Argent before, one thing that characterizes like Trey's designs, at least for the two games that he's made for Level 99 Games, is that he tends to basically wrap a Euro game around what is quote unquote an American game, right? Like, because he basically makes Euro games that are inherently conflict driven, and rather than just stealing resources from one another, which is what conflict in most Euro games are. In most of his games, he goes like, you actively have abilities that like destroy people's students.
Yeah, there's like asymmetric powers and spells that you can cast, things that you can get that will make you very diverse. Like the characters are all each of the companies has their own ability, and as you build their HQ, they get more and more unique abilities, so they diverge further and further as the game goes on.
Can you spec?
And then I mean, yeah, be based on the resources you harvest, you'll get different spells. And so you can see the spell piles out on the table, and you can be like, oh, well, I really want to get a green resource so I can get this ability added to my tableau. Or I really want to get a white resource so that I can get this ability added to my tableau. And so that'll determine, where your rail lines go, what areas that you pass through, and also what cities that you end up trying to head to. So it's a really neat game, and there's a lot of reasons to do any given thing. Definitely fits the level 99. What's the word? The level 99 motif. It feels like a level 99 game. I'm really excited to bring it out, and man, I can't wait to show you guys. But we're working on the graphic design right now, so as soon as that's done, I'm going to post some screenshots on the blog. You'll be able to see kind of what the game is looking like laid out on the table.
Oh man, wait. So you said it's a level 99 game. That means, does this mean variable setups? So like the board changes every game?
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course.
There's different terrain tiles, different engine spells that you can get, different companies to play with. There's so much stuff that'll change in this game.
Oh man. Oh wait, and let's just be very clear here. Each company's ability is not just the fact that they can build on a certain type of terrain better than everyone else, right?
No, it's much different. So like there's a limit to how much you can spend on building. The Dryads can spend more than that, so they can build more tracks every turn than everyone else with their caterpillars. The like the Gesselheim company, they can build wasteland, but they also put out extra wasteland, so they can block other companies more effectively. Some companies get more mana economy. Some companies get more spell economy. It's really they're really pretty diverse.
What's your favorite one?
My favorite one, personally, probably the Dryad company. I always try and play green in this game.
Oh man, you're a Timmy. Are you a Timmy?
maybe. But building these big networks faster than the other players lets you capitalize on things. Although that said, the Ghost company, the Ghost trains are pretty cool too. There's
what do they do? What do Ghost trains do?
They have better harvesting ability. So normally you have to build onto a hex to harvest from it, but the Ghost trains, the Afterworld Express, they can harvest from adjacent tiles as well. So like they go through an area and they just kind of leave this swath of destruction behind as they harvest up every single thing in their wake. It gives you a lot of very early spell engine to work with, and it makes it easier to do deliveries and also to steal resources from other players. So they're a very mean company to play.
Oh man, it sounds like ghosts are real jerks, Brad.
Yeah. The Afterworld, the Demon trains and the Gesselheim trains are both very aggro type characters.
Yeah. Okay, so if you want to munchkin people, I guess that's what you use.
I guess so.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different things that you can do though. Like I said, with the Dryads, you can build extra track, and that doesn't seem like an offensive ability, but you can very easily weave in front of other players and force them to either take the long way or give you a bunch of mana in the early game. So you can capitalize on this extra build capability in order to get ahead, catapult yourself.
I see. So what you're saying is that as someone's going like, let me build my tracks, you're like, nope, and then you like build track in front of them.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's such a jerk move.
Yeah, it's pretty great. The red trains, they can deliver better, and so when other people, you have to periodically you have to go and mine for mana to replenish your reserves so that you can keep doing actions. But the red company, they can just do deliveries and at like super cheap, so they never have to rest, or they have to rest very rarely, which means that you can run a very low mana operation. So when other players are sitting around resting, you're actually doing all these deliveries and cutting in line ahead of them to take their demand away. So there's a lot of cool stuff you can do in this game.
Oh man, I'm really excited. So, and is there any estimated time we'll see it on Kickstarter?
February.
Ooh.
We're planning to have it there February, But in January, you will be able to play this game on Tabletop Simulator. We're going to release public mod. People are going to be able to play Imperial on TTS and to start showing off what the game is like. And then we're also going to send some copies to reviewers. I got a 3D printer, so I've been 3D printing a bunch of train miniatures. So our prototypes are going to have really nice train miniatures. I'm quite excited for that.
Oh, post pics.
All right. I'll post them soon.
Yes. All right. And we'll probably stream that too, stream or at least record some video of it, because my goodness, am I excited for this game. So with this and 7th Cross coming out of the gates, is there more to Level 99 Games this 2018?
So there is. We do have three other things planned.
3?
I guess 4 other things.
Not 1.
4 things you might be interested in.
4? Brad, what? We started with 2 and now it's 4.
Yeah, actually, if I really think about it, it could be 5.
Brad, what are you doing?
All right. Let me say. So our major Kickstarter releases for 2018 are Imperial in February. Shortly after that, in April, Devastation Remastered Edition. This is the one with the big collector's box as an option. You will be able to patch the game, so we will offer a patch for Dev Remastered and a big collector's box. So if you get the new edition, you can get the collector's box, you can get the update, or you can get a whole new box. There is a lot of rebalancing going on, so Devastation is going to be a brand new shiny game. Marmalee's going to be good, Voko's going to be good, Eric's going to be okay again. Caitlin's going to be tournament playable.
Oh.
Stuff like that.
Old and busted, new hotness. Old and busted,
yep.
New hotness.
So that's what we're looking forward to for Dev Remastered. We also got some cool promos. There's going to be new promo characters. I can reveal at least one of those. We're going to do Ray, who we didn't get to do with Trials. So Ray is going to be playable in Devastation Remastered. Mm-hmm.
Is she going to be a legal character?
Yeah, she'll be. All the Indians characters will be tournament legal.
I see. Oh, and just in case you guys didn't know, this is Ray Cal, the divinity candidate from Argent.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see, and who else? Well, that's all for now. I'll reveal others later.
Wait,
but that's
you
Dev
said
Remastered.
5, then you gave me 3.
Oh no, I just mean other promo characters. Other promo characters.
Oh, I see.
That was only one. So BattleCon Online goes to beta in January. Once beta is open, we will start having official tournaments. We'll start inviting people in publicly. We'll start having a character every 2 to 3 weeks coming out. So a lot of fun stuff there. Then the actual release for BattleCon Online will be probably around July. And then that'll be our official release, and it'll have all the cool features, single player, AI, that kind of stuff. Alright, so after that, let's see. After Dev Remastered, 7th Cross is in July. So we'll be running that project. We will also have a tabletop sim mod for 7th Cross, so you guys can all try the first castle of 7th Cross well before that happens. Finally, later in the year, we will be releasing Millennium Blades Collusion. This is the second big expansion to Millennium Blades. That'll be going on Kickstarter. And Collusion introduces team play to Millennium Blades. So you can play 2v2 or 3v3 or even 2v2v2 and play together with your friends in Millennium Blades.
I see. The power of friendship finally is a mechanic.
Yep. The sixth cell marker set that everyone wondered where it was will be in Collusion. So there you go.
Yay! Oh my gosh, friendship.
Yeah. So after that, let's see. After that, we have 2 non-Kickstarter releases planned for next year, or 2 major non-Kickstarter releases. Pixel Tactics 6 will be coming out closer to the end of the year.
Oh my goodness! All right.
This will be truly the next entry in the Pixel Tactics lineup. We are also going to have Pixel Tactics Legends, which is the 3 mini packs: Seven Sisters, Price of Victory, and Argent University. Those mini packs are going to be repackaged as Pixel Tactics Legends, and they'll come out in the early part of 2018.
Ooh.
The other big thing we're doing is we're going to re-release Mystic Empyrean, our first RPG.
My heart.
a Mystic Empyrean re-release coming in mid 2018.
Oh my gosh.
So
Oh my gosh.
it'll be a box set. It'll come with the balanced deck, probably with a few other neat things. So it'll be like a boxed RPG style, which is becoming more popular these days.
Oh my gosh, Brad, can I interject? Can I interject 2 things?
Sure, go ahead.
Number 1, Pixel Tactics, getting all this new stuff is great. But if you're listening to this right now and you happen to be of the Espanol variety, you know some Espanol. There's now a Spanish version of Pixel Tactics online. Pixel Tactics.
Yeah.
Pixel Tactics has been...
Pixel Tactics.
Sorry. Pixel Tactics, everyone. Pixel Tactics now is a Spanish translation. So I think our friends at oh my goodness. Shining Creations.
Shining Creations.
There. I was like, creates or creations?
Shining, not shiny.
Shining. All right. Okay.
Shining Creations. Yeah. Their store, the store that they operate out of, is called Gigamesh. And that's in Spain. So you can also just look up Gigamesh and find it.
Yeah, it's great. If you ever wanted it in your mother tongue, I guess it's that. So that's interjection number 1. A quick plug for our wonderful, wonderful friends. Number 2. Brad, Mystic Empyrean.
What is that? Are you a fan?
I love it. Like,
I
haven't played a lot of Mystic Empyrean, but the mere fact that you got me to read. I read the rule book like a few times over just because I was so excited to play it. Right? Because for everybody who's listening to this podcast and doesn't know yet, if you guys wanted an Indians RPG that can wait, because Mystic Empyrean's great. And number 2, Mystic Empyrean is an RPG wherein the way you roleplay affects your mechanical powers. Okay, if you act all aggro, you get demon claws or something. But if you're like deceiving or cunning or whatever, you become invisible or stuff like that. It's crazy.
Yeah. So this is a game where you guys are Eidolons, immortal forces of nature whose sole goal is to rebuild the world that was destroyed, untold ages ago. And you are, because you're not human, you don't have a human form. Your form is kind of dictated by your emotions, by your personality. It's sort of a projection of your core values. And so the actions that you take in game after a game session, the other players will give you experience in your personality traits. And then at the end, if you develop a personality trait far enough, it starts to manifest physically and give you new powers. So you kind of role play in order to build your character, and then you use those character traits to role play. So it all kind of feeds back to each other. It's got a really cool resolution system that uses a deck of cards to both resolve encounters, but also to generate new encounters for you. So the players are the GMs, and it all is a collaborative storytelling game.
Oh man, your collaborative storytelling games are like so good. Mystic Empyrean, Power Play, some of my favorite games in your collection. I don't talk about it enough because all I talk about is BattleCon, but so good.
We're gonna give it another try. So Mystic Empyrean will be coming out in the middle of the year, and I hope you guys will all give it a try. If this RPG goes well, then we're going to look at Adventures in Indians next. Yes. So this is kind of our trial balloon to see if we can make Adventures in Indians work.
Oh my gosh. Okay, wait. Anyway, before we deep dive into how much I love Mystic Empyrean, Brad, any more development stuff?
That's all the main stuff for basically for the first half of the year. We have some other planned developments, but they're still coming together for the later half of the year. But we're going to try and get most of this stuff out by July, August. So look for all that next year from Level 99 Games.
Oh, man. All right. So that pretty much does it for Brad Talks About Development, the segment of this podcast, which will get renamed the moment we get a good name for it. If you guys want Brad to talk about specific parts of development, here's the thing, right? A lot of people oftentimes want to ask Brad, about design queries or his design philosophies and stuff. I think this would be a great segment for us to talk about that kind of stuff without muddying it necessarily with the games we've been playing if we just want to chill out and talk about mechanics. Let's move on to our 99 questions segment where we when you, the listener, ask us, Brad and Marco, some questions that we will answer. Brad, are you ready to answer these 99 questions? Not 99 questions, but
sure.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Three questions, that are this week's 99 questions. Yes. I got it. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Number 1. Are you excited for Soul Calibur 6, and have you made any character designs inspired by any Soul Calibur fighters?
I'm not too big on Soul Calibur 6. It's not that I don't like. I just kind of don't follow games until they come out, and then once they come out, I get excited for them. So I'm looking forward to it, yeah, but I'm not like on the edge of my seat for it. I'm waiting for it to come out, and when it comes out, I'll be excited.
I see.
I have got planned mechanics for a Soul Calibur season for Exceed. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but I mean, I do know. I have sent messages to Namco before, so we'll see. We'll see if anything
Brad,
comes of it.
everything's possible, especially with season 3. Everything is possible.
Yep, it's true.
It's true. Man, season 3. Everybody. Again, we talked about it.
We'll be announcing season 3 in probably at the end of January.
A lot of fighting.
So.
A lot of places where cars are.
Yep.
Okay. Next one. When? Oh, this question's funny. When does Exceed Online development start?
So Exceed Online is something that we haven't planned for just yet. We're still trying to finish up BattleCon Online. But when BattleCon Online is done, we'll talk about Pixel Tactics Online. And when Pixel Tactics Online is done, we'll talk about future video games. But I think our video game team is pretty involved up until around the end of next year. So look out for this time next year. We'll talk about future developments.
Okay, so the answer to that is when we're done doing all of these things we're currently juggling back and forth. All right.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, Brad, I'm gonna trick you and actually give you 4 more questions.
What?
Yes, but
Marco, you said 3.
Yes, I know I lied, but no. Sorry. See, I have 4 more questions, but actually I only have 1. I have 3A, 3B, 3C, and 3D.
Okay.
These are quick though. These are quick. So these are things you shouldn't really spend a lot of time thinking about. Say the first thing that pops into your head. All right.
All right. Cool.
What's your genius favorite type of cheese?
Favorite type of cheese? It's a complex question, Marco.
What?
I guess brie with jam.
Okay, brie with jam. I like that. Number 2. Oh, sorry. Letter B. Where does Minato get the fuel for all of his vehicles?
Evil. Next.
Okay. No. Number 3. Is the spook an illegal alien?
Given that that First Cross controls most world governments in the world of Seventh Cross, yes, it is illegal for aliens to exist.
Okay, I forget that there are multiple crosses, and that's why there's the fact that the game's called 7th Cross implies there's a 1st to 6th cross, right?
Yeah, they all do different things.
I see.
But First Cross is kind of controls the world government and civilization societies.
You mean that they're Illuminati?
They're a true Illuminati style secret society. Yeah.
Yeah, I see. Well, not so secret.
They're pretty secret unless you're in on it.
Unless you're in the church. All right. Okay. Here's the last one. Letter D. What is Taisei's shoe size?
Gosh. Probably 9.5 to 10.5, somewhere there.
Oh, he's a tall boy. Is he a tall boy? I always thought he was a short boy.
Not that tall, but
yeah. Okay, so he's 5 foot something, right? 5 foot
5 something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think on the tall side of 5 foot.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. So that pretty much does it for 99 questions. If you guys have any questions for Brad and me, including world building ones. See, now we have canon, shoe sizes for Taisei. I don't know why you need.
Why would you do this to me?
Fanfiction writers, if you ever wanted to do a Taisei
Taisei visits the shoe store.
Yeah, exactly. Taisei visits the shoe stores in Daniel, write this. You can get him canonically sized shoes. But if you guys have any other questions for us, development or lore or whatever, or even Marco mechanics or something, do send us the questions. There will be a Google form linked to that form in the description down below, where you can ask all those questions in appropriate format, and promise we won't miss it. So, Brad, like I've said, I knew the development talk was going to take a while, and we're now at the end of our podcast. Are you happy or are you sad?
Oh, I'm so sad to go, Marco. I wanted to talk with you about fun games for so long.
Oh.
But our time has already come to an end.
I see. So long, farewell. What? What was the boom 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 at the end? What? Like, I know you're referencing something.
That's my sad sound.
That's your.
It's just me.
That's your sad sound. Okay, everyone, we now have a canon sad sound.
Oh, I'm tearing up, Marco.
I swear, if somebody ends up making like a soundboard of us, we're dead. We are literally dead, both of us.
Now that you've suggested it, you better go back and edit that out.
I shouldn't give that idea to the people.
Yeah. You've opened a can of worms already.
Oh my gosh! All right. So that pretty much does it for this episode of the Level 99's Level Cap podcast. Actually, we should do that. We should like Players Unknown Battlegrounds this thing and call it Level 99 Games' Level Cap podcast.
It's kind of a mouthful.
That's true. All right. So that pretty much does it for this episode of the Level Cap podcast. I hope all of you enjoyed listening to Brad and me talk about games, talk about development, talk about more games, and answer some questions about Taisei's shoe size. If you guys have any suggestions, any comments, please tell us in the comment section down below. A lot of this podcast is all about interacting with you, the fans. So if you guys want anything answered or you want to give us suggestions to make the podcast better, put those in the description or the comment section down below. And of course, if you guys might be so ever kind, tell a friend about the Level Cap podcast. If they enjoy some development talk from one of the industry's cool dudes and some random Asian guy, you guys can tell them about this podcast and, maybe they might enjoy it as well and learn more about Level 99 games as a result. Brad, do you have anything you want to say before we end?
Marco, you're more than some random Asian guy to me.
Oh, thanks, Brad. I am the random Asian guy to you.
What? No, you're very specific. You're a very specific Asian guy.
Not random. I am a Asian guy. I see.
You're Marco.
Oh, thanks, Brad. And you're Brad. So, as usual, it has been me, your host, Marco De Santos, also known as Mechanic Critic, or the Asian guy. And with me has been my amazing, splendiferous, very considerate, and happy co-host,
Brad Tong. Thank you guys for joining us once again, and I hope to see you after the holiday break. Take care, and happy gaming.
Happy gaming!